Hey, now you get two videos from me this weekend. It is October 21st. It is the big Michigan State game. I'm cheering on my Spartans. The reason why it's a big game because Michigan's going to win big today, but that has nothing to do with autographs. So I did a video yesterday talking about the recent Hall of Fame election. Back to autograph analysis. We're going to talk about one of the greatest pitchers ever, and I would argue he's underrated, and that is Lefty Grove. When Major League Baseball did their all-century team, when they went to starting left-handed pitchers, for the greatest all pitchers in the 1900s, they elected Lefty Grove. And most people, I would say today, collectors don't know who he is or don't know much about him. They hear the name Lefty, and they probably blow it off. I mean, this guy got it in over Warren Spahn, Eddie Plank. I mean, there were Kershaw. Kershaw was this century. But anyways, I mean, the man was a six-time All-Star, including the initial All-Star game, may have been more. He won the MVP. He won the pitching Triple Crown 2 times. He led the AL and the ERA 9 times, wins 4 times. But the Hall of Fame was so crazy back when he got elected way back in 1947 that he only got in on his third ballot, which is kind of insane. But Mike Moynihan, baseball collector, brought up an interesting point about pitchers generally are underrated, but especially pitchers in this era, like the Lefty Groves and even the Grover Cleveland Alexanders, is because of baseball cards. He pitched in a time where baseball cards weren't that popular. I mean, we're talking between the Topps, the Bowman Topps era and the T206 era. So a lot of great players in that era didn't have baseball cards. And because of that, it could be the reason why they just weren't as popular with collectors today, because they don't have many baseball cards out there. And that's what the modern collectors look for. Even going back to the T206, a lot of famous players in that set. Again, great players. I'm not trying to downplay any of them. And the people in the Tops, obviously great players. But then there's this little realm, especially pitchers, that just like I get lost to history. So, and Lefty Grove, although I won't say it's lost, he's definitely underrated. So, that being said, not a tough autograph except for one thing. So with that, died in 1975, died of a heart attack at age 75. So not a very old person. So we're going to take a look at the autograph analysis of Robert Lefty Grove. So we're going to start with, obviously, the PSA database. And I wanted to start with this signature because, again, I think this is I feel comfortable. This is a good signature. And this is a 1970, 5 years, age 70 Lefty Grove signature. Now, Lefty Grove died of a heart attack. It wasn't like he was very sick for a long time and shaky. So in 1970, again, on flat surfaces, he still had a nice autograph. A couple of things to note about the Lefty Grove autograph in 1970. And I want to pay attention to this time period because this is the often most forged time, not that he's heavily forged. So again, you're looking, the L is the biggest letter at top and bottom, usually with it. You're going to look for a break between the L and at the G, even though you can sort of see it connects right here. It was common for him to sort of take the pen off and then put it back on. You can see the E's right here. Both here are capitals. They come up. Let's go back to that one. They come up from the top and they go down. And again, they come back from the top and go down. Now, Ron K thinks this is like one of the nicest signatures in the Hall of Fame. I disagree. But again, we're looking for a right slant signature. And his autograph sort of gets smaller and smaller, if you could see it to me, as he goes down. Now, the autograph should bounce a lot, especially the later autographs. It's not signing on a flat plane at all. So, again, we can go. Oops, sorry. Let's go. That one's tough to see. Again, this is probably signed earlier than 1970. Now, some people say that his autograph, the G's, the loops up here sort of disappeared in the late 70s. It's not in the late 70s, later in his life. I don't think so. Again, right here, though, you can see this is a beautiful signature. It still bounces. My guess is this is signed somewhere in the 50s. Again, beautiful L, the lowest letter, the Y. So earlier, the Y would be the lowest point of his autograph. As he got later in life, the L became the lowest point of his autograph. Again, a capital E with the E starting coming up and above. And you can see a break between the L and the E. It looks like the G and the R here. It's kind of tough to see in this autograph right here. We're going to get back to these autographs on sweet spots and a black pen in a little bit. But again, the E coming up here, capital E, capital E, capital G right here. See, this is obviously, if it's real, hint, later in life signature with the big loop with the G. The Y swoops around. Again, he doesn't take his pen off the surface when he crosses his T from the Y. And the E. Now, this has a flare at the end with the E. Sometimes you see that with his autograph. Sometimes you don't. This is a very old signature. He has Groves instead of Grove. But I'm sure it's real Robert. Again, you're not going to see many Robert M. Groves or Robert Groves except on legal documents. This is a very famous Turtle Creek. I'm sure Bill's looking for this autograph as we speak right now from 1929. Again, this is a very nice autograph. He signs every single letter of his name. But again, these are not the autographs that commonly come for sale. Are these old autographs per se? You're looking more for the new autographs. Again, 1932 contract. Again, this is a 1938 autograph. So again, these are much more rare. This is 1952. Again, these autographs are very tough to forge. They're so smooth and silky. I don't know, for lack of a better term. But again, capital E, the Y comes across over the T. Capital E around here. You can see it bounces a lot. The E drops here at the end. Again, 1954 checks, and there are a lot of checks in the market. I'll jump ahead real quickly here. This is my autograph. Again, this is a signed check. Expect to pay between $100 and $200 for a signed check. And again, the checks are, to me, the most comfortable. I love the fact that it has the full name autograph. It has the Robert M. Grove. Again, they're not that rare. I mean, they're out there if you look. And it's just a beautiful signature to me, and I feel most comfortable getting them because it's a legal document. So let's go back to the PSA again. So again, signed checks, they're out there. They're not rare. Again, this is a government postcard. You can see the Y now is the lowest thing. The E comes up. There's no flare here at the E. But again, it leans really much to the right. You see how the loops in the G now are sort of going away. Now there's definite gaps, obviously. Now, again, if I were buying a Lefty Grove autograph, I don't want to see any hesitation in the autograph. Like I said, he died. This is the one we looked at before in 1975. And this 1970 autograph is a good autograph. Again, right here, even this is a later in life autograph, my guess. And still, there's not much hesitation here. You can see there's a little bit of a loop in this G right here. Not much. The Y still comes across. Capital E, capital E. It's bouncing a lot. He's not signing. It kind of goes up and then again shrinks back down, which is common for his autograph, the ones that I see that I feel comfortable with. Now, there are signed cards out there like this one. I feel comfortable that these are good. But again, you're going to pay a premium, and I would not buy one unless it's absolutely authenticated. Again, he had 30 years to sign these postcards. So they're out there. They're not rare. Expect to spend like about $100 for a signed plaque postcard. So again, another signed card. And again, we're back to these signed baseballs, which these black baseballs kind of throw me off. So real quickly here, I want to show this one. Again, this is on the safer out. And I agree about this one. The admins called this one out, and I agree it's out. The reason I don't like it is, number one, is the E's are a little different. If you can see right here, it's signed sort of on level the Grove. And usually Lefty Grove signed very small. He hit a smaller signature. You see how big the L and the Y and the G are, how high these are. That's not a typical Lefty Grove. So it's out. I think it's out. That's a good call. So again, I go on to eBay, and there's nothing here that sticks out as bad, to be honest. I think everything on here is good. You can see checks, like a nice check signed, sold for $127. Not as nice, $127. Again, signed postcards. He was a very good signer in the mail. Again, under $100. So I would not be spending a lot of money. Now, Ron calls out. We'll get to that in a second. I'm just going down here. I didn't look at these smaller ones. But again, I don't think anything is wrong. I like to see what Lefty Grove. That it's very unusual. It's not a flat surface or anything like that. So Ron calls out signed baseballs later in life that a lot of them have been forged. So like this one right here, I don't feel comfortable buying this ball. And again, this sold way back in 2008 for $1,400. So that's a lot of money back then. So usually the E's in his autograph, again, were pretty consistent. He said there's a plethora of small single sign white baseball signed in black out there. So again, this is one of them. I don't even know if this was authenticated. I'm sure it was. PSA, Andy, and James Spence. But again, the issue with this is the fact that you see how the E, it's not pronounced. Now, can I say for sure it's bad? No. But usually the E, like he signed it coming up and back down, and you want to see a pronounced E. So if I'm going to spend $1,000 on a Lefty Grove baseball, this is not the baseball I'm buying. It's just there's enough about it that raises the red flag on it with me. So again, another issue right here is this baseball. Again, this sold for $2,200. And again, what I don't like about this baseball is how large it's signed. It's a Haiti ball. So again, these are not expensive baseballs at all. And the fact that, like, you see that usually the V came over the E. The E is usually small, like this right here. If this is a forgery, the forger got it right, that the E comes up and down. You see how it goes up here with the E? I don't like that at all. I really don't like that at all. And again, it's not very smooth. The G here and the G here and like the F. It's just like in 1970, he was signing a nice autograph. So again, he died very suddenly in 1975 of a heart attack. But again, it's just, I feel like, no, I'm not feeling this baseball. It just doesn't have, especially this E right here, I don't like. So maybe, again, if you're going to spend the money on like a Lefty Grove single sign baseball, it better be very smooth, very nice, and just they're out there, but you're gonna spend a couple $1,000. So that's it with Lefty Grove. We're getting towards the end of the G's. Oh, we're not there yet, though. We still have to go with Vladimir Guerrero Sr. So until then, go green. Hit the like button if you're still here. And as always, keep collecting.